Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. So this is part two. I just ate some lunch, but before we ate lunch, we did a whole bunch of work in this bed. I was really unhappy with this bed. I planted this bed a couple years ago, 7 years ago. And when I planted it was just grass, and I'm very much one of those people that when I decide I want to do a project, I need to do it right now, and I don't plan it out as much. So as I get older, and as I really find my passion with gardening and stuff like that, I'm trying to be more mindful about planning things out and not necessarily jumping the gun and doing stuff right away. So I did this space, and um, it looked nice for a couple of years, and then it really just everything kind of started getting too big. And one of my girlfriends pointed out to me what is so painfully obvious is everything I had in here was very, the biggest thing was that salvia right there. That was the tallest thing I had. And you can see this whole space is big. So I needed something with height there. So um, my girlfriend Allison had the brilliant idea. We put some grasses in here, and we put some cannas in here, and I have more things we're going to put in here, but this is just a start for the year. This, I think, is going to be an evolving garden this year while I kind of get the plants as they come into season and kind of decide what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. So this space still looks terrible. I'm not happy about it, but we need to move forward, and we have things in the ground. So as things kind of fill in, we can keep adding things here and there. But I have torn out a lot of plants. So I have a big old daylily, a couple of daylilies here actually. Along that garden fence, right along there, I have planted a whole bunch of daylilies, and this is their third year. They're very small when I planted them, and they're getting bigger, which is nice. But my intent with this is, so if we go back here, that's just a ton of weeds along that fence, and the grass grows up, and it's just really, really messy. So as the garden's kind of evolving, again, I didn't plan this out. Number one, I didn't plan out the garden, it kind of just grew. Number two, I didn't have the money to put into, the money or the skills to put into making the garden what I wanted from the beginning. So we are kind of just modifying it as we go. But so I planted these daylilies, and my goal is they're going to fill in that entire fence line, so I won't have to worry about the grass or weeds. They'll fill in all the fence line, and they're just bloom with daylilies for a good chunk of the summer. So I have a big old pile of daylilies that I'm going to transplant there. Um, and then we also, because again, I'm trying to make the garden pretty, what I did last year is I put in what is a really pretty garden. It is a really pretty garden bed that I ran the whole way along here. And I just used, these are wood, this is wood from trees I had cut down on the property. So I just thought that would make a cheap, free, and a natural looking border. So I am very happy with this space. However, as you can see, it looks terrible. My plan with this space was to have it be a annual garden where I would plant zinnias and cosmos and sunnies and dahlias and snaps, and that is still my intention, in the sense that I still intend to 125% plant those annuals in this space. The problem that I'm realizing that I'm having is I don't like the in-between. So especially if we look at this space up here, right now this is my patio garden, and again, this was supposed to be an annual space as well, and this still kind of is. But the problem I have is how ugly it looks. While one, you wait for the perennials to come back to life, so over winter this space looks terrible, and it is embarrassing. And even now, we're beginning of May, and I do think this space should look nice, but it still hasn't warm enough, one, to plant anything in it, and two, I want this to be an annual space. I'm going to fill this with zinnias and all that stuff. So um, this space is kind of going to be in the middle of half perennial, half annual. However, this space up here, this garden bed, I've just decided I'm going to make it an annual, I'm going to make it a perennial space, just because it is so ugly right now. And this is, when it comes to the garden space, the garden is first, and then it's the patio garden. This is the last thing that kind of would get planted, just because it's flowers. And I decided I like the idea of having it be mainly at least a spring perennial bed. So I'm thinking tulips and irises, Um, I really don't know what else. Tulips and irises. I do have 2 roses in here. One has completely died. One isn't looking great, so I'm gonna see if I can't feed that and get that guy to come back. That's my blue tea rose, which I really love. I got last year. I actually got a year ago, right around now. I got it for my birthday last year. So anywho, out of that garden up there, I dug out a whole bunch of irises. I dug out a whole bunch of irises. I think that's about it. So, or I guess there's a couple of, I think there's a couple of, I forget what they're called. They're like little they're not hyacinths, but they're like hyacinths. They're like snowdrop flowers. I forget what they're called. But I did out a couple of them. So, I'm going to go into this whole space down here, and we're going to take out all of these weeds, and we have a couple ornamental grasses we're going to plant, and we're going to plant those irises. And, oh, I got ranunculus on sale at Lowe's, so we're going to plant them down here. So we're going to start getting this garden bed done for spring. Again, all of my beds are kind of evolving. Once I get my sunflowers and my zinnias and all that fun stuff, once I get all of that, I will put that in here as well. But right now, this is what we're going to do. So, one other thing that is exciting, so I was very lazy last year, and I hate to say it, but I was. At the end of the garden season, I always get a little lazy. I'm just tired. So, I didn't pull out all of my bulbs. So I had 2 dahlia bulbs that I left in here that were really pretty dahlias that I didn't pull out. But we had such a mild winter that both of my dahlias are actually coming back. So that's exciting. So I have one in this corner, and then I have one right here of really pretty dahlias. And then I just pulled this out from my parents' farm. So I'm hoping this comes back. This is a lilac, a beautiful purple lilac. So I'm hoping that comes back. Lilacs, I've transplanted them multiple times, and they shock every single time. Really, really bad. So he will look probably bad this entire year, but next year, hopefully, we have some growth on him. So I am going to go get the shovel. I'm going to set you guys up. I'm going to go get the shovel, and we're going to dig out all of the weeds in here, which won't take long. It's been raining for a couple of days at this point, and it's going to rain for the next 4 to 5 days. So that's why I really want to get this project done, because I have the time to do it. 2, it's going to rain for the next couple of days, so it'll really kind of water everything in. And because everything is so wet, I think these weeds will dig out really, really easily. So, prop you up, and let's get to work. That was so fast. I forgot I have to do on the other side of the gate. I just missed a couple of pieces, but all of this went really, really fast. And I think that's what starts off as it's so overwhelming because there's so many weeds that need pulled, so much mulch that needs done, but it actually does go pretty fast, especially if you're doing it after it rains. This is my favorite time to weed because everything just comes right out. I brought the shovel down, but I didn't even need to use the shovel because everything came right out. So now I have everything out. The only things that are left in there are actual plants. So I'm going to get all this stuff in the ground, and then I am going to top dress it with just some fertilizer, some flower fertilizer. And this bed will be done for the year. I'm definitely going to put zinnias in here, and I'm also going to put obviously some sunnies. I don't have a bed anywhere in this property that doesn't have sunflowers in it. So this will have, of course, sunflowers. It'll have zinnias, and I have cosmos and nasturtium. So like my annuals will go in here yet, but For the most part, all of this is perennials, minus these beautiful ranunculus. Tulips are my favorite flower. Tulips make me so happy, but I think ranunculus are a very close second. Like, that is just stunning. So I have a pink one and a white one that I got on clearance at Lowe's, and they've actually made me so happy that I've never honestly seen them before, so it's not like I've not bought them before, but they make me so happy that I'm 100% going to buy these in the future, regardless if they're on clearance or not, because these flowers really, all flowers make me happy, but like, these ones are singing in my soul. So I have a pink one and a white one that are going to go in down here. And then this is a Purity Candy Tuft. I had an annual. It needs obviously going to ground. I got it about a week and a half ago. I had something similar to this that I had in this garden bed last year, and it was an annual, so it honestly didn't come back. I was hoping it would, but it actually like grew and filled and like kind of spilled out over the logs, and I thought that was so pretty. So this is a perennial, so I'm gonna put this with the same intention of having it grow out over the logs, and in a couple years I might be able to divide it and spread it out along this garden bed, because I just think that's, I think that's so pretty. And now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, it's only gonna bloom in spring. I didn't think that through. Okay, well, it's almost on bloom, and that's why it kind of looks pretty bad, because it's on the tail end, but we'll get in there, so at least it'll look nice next year. I have a couple of irises, and these irises are all yellow, so I have a couple of smaller ones in here. I don't even know what color they are. I dug them out last year from my mom's farm, and I have no idea what color they are. I'm hoping not yellow, but I just pulled a couple of yellow irises that we're going to throw in this space. And then for grasses, I have a tall grass and a medium-sized grass. And these, I don't know what type of grass these are. These came from my friend Allison's, and they're like black tops with like fluffiness. So anyhow, I'm gonna throw these in here. I have a tall one and I have a medium one that I'm kind of gonna use to anchor the beds, and we'll see what they do. And then I also have this is a spiderwort that I pulled out from up there. I'm gonna throw that in down here. And then I have two other little plants, but I already lost them somewhere in this mess. So when I find them, I'll show you them. But we're gonna get all this stuff in this bed. And then the ranunculus, these are annuals, so these will bloom all summer. So I am, that's so pretty. I am so excited. So let's get everything laid out and figure out where we're gonna put it. These are the other two things I want to plant. Oh look, it has a little worm in its leaf. But it has it grows like little white flowers like that. I forget what it's called. This one has a root. This one doesn't, but I'm gonna put it in the ground and see if it comes back anyway. So this is actually super exciting. I thought this was one big plant, and it's actually multiple plants in one. So I get to spread these out and have these in so many more places, and I'm so excited. think this last pink and white one I'm going to put up in the patio garden. So I'm going to run away, throw these in the patio garden real quick. Friends, that was half an hour from start to finish. And it already looks a lot better. And it's actually turned out to be a gorgeous day. The sun is out, it's hot. And I actually, let me see if I can show you real quick. I don't know if I was able to capture that, but I've had cardinals. I had 3 hang out in this bed all day, and there was just one sitting on the fence. And I really love the saying of when you have cardinals, it means a loved one is visiting. So I was like, when I was planting, I was kind of like, well, who's visiting me today? Is it Demi? Is it Happy? Who is it? Pop Pop? Mary? So I had 3, so one of them stayed home. I have 4 loved ones in heaven, so one of them must have stayed home today. But let me show you what I have here and then what we're going to do next. But like I said, so it's really warm out here, and when it's sunny, I like to wear my glasses. I like to wear my contacts. But I scratched my cornea taking my contacts out the other day. So I'm in glasses for the next couple of days. And one, I really hate it when I'm working outside because I sweat and like my face is a little sweaty. I don't like wearing glasses. And then I keep having to like bump the glasses up on my face, and they have covered in dirt. I can see the dirt, but I don't think they're going to get any better. So if you're a contact wearer, don't scratch your cornea. Because wearing glasses is not fun especially when it's nice outside. But I digress. Let me show you how pretty this bed is. Okay, so we start here. This is my first year getting these, and I'm actually really excited for them. I think they're going to be really pretty. So I have some on that side as well. I need to tear out the weeds in there. I forgot about that space, but I have a couple there. This is a daylily and a tulip. I need to cut the tulip once it's kind of done what it needs to do. Oh, I have a little snapdragon right down there. Little snap that I see coming. So look, again, I just need to showcase these. I mean, look how pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed these guys, and then I'm going to come cut like these long ones that are laying over. I'm going to cut them off and put them in a vase, and that'll help to put its energy into the roots. This is an ornamental grass. We'll see if we like that there. That's what I'm hoping would bloom all summer, and I'm just realizing that it's not. That kind of stinks. And then here is my rose. You can see here I do have some green, but it's not looking good. So I'm not quite sure what I did wrong with this. What's going on? I'm going to feed it, and hopefully that comes back. And then this is one of those other, I don't even know what they're called, but what I have in that pot. And it's just, I have a couple purple and white ones that I've scattered throughout here. This is a spiderwort. This is that hyacinth thing that's not a hyacinth, but it's similar. My beautiful, beautiful pink ranunculus. A white one. Iris. That pretty thing. This I almost ripped out. I need to cover it back up. But this is actually lemon balm. I didn't think that would come back, but it is. And actually, it is a perennial, so I should have known it would have come back. But I'm happy I didn't like fully rip that out. That really hung on there. You can see I'm going to cut all those and put them in a vase. But look how pretty. My lilac that looks a little dead, but that'll come back. Another grass. Here are some irises. I don't know if they're bloomed this year since I just replanted them, but we'll see. And then here is one dahlia. More irises, and then a second dahlia. So I have a lot more dahlias to plant, but I don't know where they're going to go because I wasn't expecting those 2 to come back. So we will figure it out. But for now, I have a whole bunch of daylilies that I'm going to kind of plant all along here. So let's get started. So this is the 3rd year on these daylilies, and when I first put them in, my dad mows this bottom section of my property, and he normally comes when I'm at work, and I thought he would realize that this was not grass, and the first year, they got mowed down like every single week. And when I finally told him, like, hey, don't mow up to the fence, I think he forgot a time or two. But now he's got it. He hasn't mowed them down this year. But these daylilies have fought for their every existence. But I think it's going to be worth it. Okay. I need to take a break because it is very warm out here now. And I'm one of those gardeners where I both don't like the cold and I don't like the heat. And it was only supposed to get up to 60 today, and it is not 60. It is very warm. So we are going to probably honestly wrap up this video. Because the only other thing I'm going to do today, well, I had more plans, but we'll see what I get today. See if I bring you guys along. But I'm not going to bring you along for this just because this is honestly a massive embarrassment. Massive, massive, massive. So I don't even know why I'm showing you this, but for the sake of truth, I'll spin you around and I'll show you. So this is what I call my windmill garden, hence the name. And it is, I fought for years, and I'm losing the battle epically with thistle. So you can see what I've tried to do, and I'm going to continue to try to do this, is I've planted underneath that peony. I have a phlox that you can't even see. I should dig that guy out, see if I can get to him, and I'll dig him out. I've planted a lot of plants in an effort to combat all the thistle. And I am losing by leaps and bounds. So all of those irises that I dug out, I am going to put in that bed. I'm going to take a break, see how much energy I still have, because I'm a little tired now. I feel like I've done hard work and I'm dirty. But I got all of the daylilies along this bed, and I'll walk you up and I'll show you. With the daylilies, I have a couple different varieties. So the leaves are going to look different depending on the varieties, but we have the beautiful orange ones, and then I have the like purpley, brownish color ones. And like I said, they're filling in. Is it perfect? No. But this is the part of gardening that a lot of people don't want to admit. But things take time. You have to give things time to grow. You have to give things time to mature. And I'm in this for the long haul, so we're giving this time to mature. And probably the year that I go to sell this house is when these daylilies will really fill in. But at least they'll be here for the next owner. So in almost every space, I have a lot of daylilies, some doing better than others. A couple of trees I need to cut down, so you can see this lily is different than this one. This is just because it's a different color, different variety. I tried to spread them out when I first planted them, but obviously now add in like these two guys in, you won't be able to tell. So you won't be able to tell that initially I did every other. So I did an orange one and then brown one, orange one, brown, and so went back and forth. But at least the thought was there initially. Okay, I am tired. My dog has got herself a little tied up. She is wrapped around here, wrapped around the cat box. So she's wrapped herself up. So I'm going to go unwrap her, and then we're going to sit and relax for just a few minutes, 10-15 minutes. And then, oh, I have gladiolus bulbs. I'm not going to bring you along for that because you saw me plant enough today. But I bought a box of gladiolus bulbs. I did show them in a previous video, but that's okay. I bought them at Sam's Club. I think it's 60 gladiolus bulbs. So I'm going to throw a whole bunch up in this space. I'm going to throw a whole bunch in the front of the garden bed where we were just working. And then I don't know. See, look, my cardinal is back on the fence. That's my little cardinal. It's just hanging out with me today. And I love that. So I don't know who it is, but I'm glad they're here with me. If you don't believe in that old wives' tale, I guess it is, then that's fine. But I do, and it makes me feel good. So I'm going to put the gladiolus bulbs somewhere. If I throw them anywhere else other than these two beds, I will update you. But of course, you'll see them as they grow because I will definitely be doing garden tours, and I'll be showing you everything as they bloom. But we're checking things off the list, guys. Still a lot of work to be done, but we're getting it. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.